Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to be teaching you how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I guess that was kind of apparent in the thumbnail and title, but we don't talk about that. So, first thing you're going to want to do, you're going to want to know, is you're going to want to know notation. Like, so there's right, it says right, right invert, left, left invert, up, up invert, and then you got down, down invert, and then there's more front, front invert, and back, back invert. The only ones you're going to really need to solve a Rubik's Cube with the beginner's method, which is what I'm going to be teaching you, is right, right invert, left, left invert, up, up invert, and front invert. That should be all you need to know. You don't need to know the downs or the backs or anything like that. And there's M slices, but you don't need to know that right now either. Okay, now that it's all scrambled up, now we can actually start the solving. So the first step, I think I've already showed you, is this, the white cross, where you have a cross right here, and then you have the connecting center pieces to the edges. And then, that's what we're going to do on here. So basically, to do this, see, you try to connect any white here, pretend like there's no white piece connected. So, first up here, you have to get like a dandelion. So you just get all the white edge pieces up here at the top. It doesn't matter what orientation they're in. Just try to see, like now we got one right here. So you move this over here, then you put it up there. They have all white edge pieces up here. So now, you try to connect them with their corresponding center pieces. So we've already have this blue connected, so you just turn that 180 degrees. Now it's connected that little chunk. So now we have the blue, or the red. I'm colorblind. I'm not actually colorblind, just clarifying that. Now you have that little bit, so now there's this orange, so you move it over to the orange. You turn that. Got the orange. Now last but not least is green. You turn it around to here. Now you have your white cross done, same as on the demonstration. The next step is finishing the whole white side. So let me show you. People think that solving the white side is just solving this side in particular, but you're actually solving the whole first layer. So you're solving the side and then all the little cubies around it. So to do that, you want to orientate the center pieces. So how you do that is you see you got this. This is the white, orange, and green little chunk right here. So now you have the white, orange, and green centerpiece. You put it over here, and then you set it over where you want it to go, and then you do this algorithm: right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert. You do that until you have the centerpiece the right orientation. And there you go. So now you got our first corner piece. Our first corner piece. Okay, so now we have the white, blue, and orange. And we have white, blue, and orange. So we want to get this here. We do the same thing. Right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert. And now we have the corner piece in the right orientation. Okay, so now this one is already right here in the right place. We just have to orientate it. So to do that, you do the same thing. Right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert. There you go. And then you got this one, the green, white, green, and red, and the white, green, and red. So you do the same thing. There you go. That sometimes it's going to be quicker, sometimes it's going to be slower. Sometimes you have to do it more times than others. You just do it until you have the centerpiece, the corner piece in the right orientation. The next step is the second layer. So here, as you can see with this one, we have the whole second layer done. So that's what we're going to do on this one. So to do the second layer, there's this first time you're really doing like a legitimate algorithm. So you see that this is the orange and blue little section right here, and then you have the orange and blue thing right here. So if it wasn't there, you'd line up the orange with the orange, then you'd move it over one, and you'd do this algorithm: right, up invert, right invert, up invert, turn, left invert, up, left. And now it's in the right spot. So now, just like this, you have the green and orange and green and orange. You put it right here and you turn it once to the left. I never really clarified that, but you kind of see that. And then you go right, up invert, right invert, up invert, turn, left invert, up, left. Now that's done. So you do that for the rest of the pieces. So you got this one right here. Then you have this one right here. Okay, so now that's that step done. Hey, so this is future me, and I was editing this video. I noticed that I only explained half of the algorithms, but I mean 1 out of 2 for this step. So basically, I showed you this algorithm where you line these up and it needs to go to here. What I didn't explain was when you had a pair right here, but it needed to go over here. What you do for that is you put it out of the way, but in the opposite direction, and you do this algorithm: left invert, up, left, turn this way this time, up, right, up invert, right invert. And that's how you put one in like that. Let's see if we can get another pair like that. Okay, so we did it again. So make sure, another example. You have this paired up, you have to get it over there. Turn this, left invert, up, left, turn, up, right, up invert, right invert. And there you go. And back to the normal part of the video. So the next step is called the yellow cross. There's 3 different cases you can get to solving the yellow cross. The first is this dot, little dot right here. The second one is called the L. You can't really see it, but it doesn't matter the corner pieces, but there is an L right here. The third one is called the line. You can't really, I know it looks like an H, but the corner pieces don't matter when you're doing the cross, so it's a line. Okay, so first I'll be showing you the dot. So if you have the dot, basically for all of these it's just the same algorithm. So it's front, right, up, right invert, up invert, front. And now you're given this case. So with this case, same with this one, what you do is you turn it to where it's like this for you, and then you do the same thing: front, right, up, right invert, up invert, front invert. Now you end up with the line. And now to solve the line, you do the same thing: front, right, up, right invert, up invert, front invert. And now you have your cross, just like how we did with the white side. This next step is called orientate the yellow cross. So there's three different cases for this. So first is, orientating just like what we did for the white side, where you try to get the centerpiece connected with its edge piece. So first case is where you have two across from each other that match up, like this green and this blue match up. But this red and orange need to be flip-flopped. So what you do is you get right here. You can get anywhere actually, but I prefer getting on one of the solved pieces. And then you do this algorithm. Right, up, right invert, up, right, up, up, right invert. So now it's not solved yet, but now we have two chunks solved right here. And that's where we get to our next case, where since there's two chunks solved, you move it to wherever the two are solved. And then the other two are not solved, so these need to be flip-flopped. Or swapped, however you want to say it. So you got the two solved ones right here. You go to the one furthest left of the solved ones. And you do the same algorithm. Right, up, right invert, up, right, up, up, right invert. And then you just turn it until all of them are solved. And then sometimes you'll just have it to where they already come solved. That's not very rare. I mean, that's very rare. That doesn't happen that often. But if it does, then you got a skip. So I guess faster times. This next step is called the corner swap. What it does is it swaps all the corners so they're in the right spots. So you try to find a corner that is in the right spot, like this one is. It doesn't have to be, here, don't do this to your cube, by the way, but it can be in any orientation and it will still be in the right spot. This one was already like this, so. But anyway, so you find one in the right spot, and if you don't have one in the right spot, for instance, this cube right here has nothing in the right spot, then you just do the same algorithm anyway, so I'll show you. So you take one in the right spot and you put it on your right, and then you do this algorithm. Up, right, up invert, left invert, up, right invert, up invert, left. Now that's not usually supposed to happen. Okay, so anyway, you basically, if you have no edges together, you do the same algorithm. You go up, right, up invert, left invert, up, right invert, up invert, left. And so now you probably won't have, so you'll have at least one in the correct spot, which is this red, green, and yellow piece. So now you do the same thing. Okay, so now you have everything in the right space. They just need to be orientated correctly. Okay, so just a shot that cube failed me. Okay, anyway, so now they're all in the correct corresponding spots. They just need to be orientated. This next step is called orientate the yellow corners. The same thing we did on the white corners, just on the yellow side. So you do this algorithm. Well, so basically you find a piece that's not orientated correctly. In this case, none of them are orientated correctly. We find one, and then you do this algorithm. Right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert, right, up, right invert, up invert. And there you go. So then instead of turning the whole cube this time, because that'll mix you up, this time you have to just turn the bottom layer, and then you do it again. Right, up, right invert, right, up, right invert, up invert. And now that part is solved. And now it's going to look like you have it almost all solved. You still got these two though. So you don't turn it anymore. You once again use the bottom layer and turn it. Now I can just do the rest of this because you've already seen the algorithm. There you go. Now for the last corner. And then you just turn the bottom. There you go. Hopefully this video has helped you be able to solve a Rubik's Cube, and hopefully it inspires you to try to get faster and faster, and someday be the best. I mean, everybody can improve. I'm really bad at solving, at least in my standards, but this is only the beginner's method. Once you learn this, if you want to go faster and faster, I'll have other methods such as CFOP up on my channel soon. Hope this was helpful, and y'all have a great day.